Good morning, crafty friends, and welcome to my craft room. I'm Yvonne from Amjur, and this is the Morning Coffee Journaling Club. This is actually the last recording in this series of the Burr months. I started this in September of 2024 and made a commitment to do one creative journaling page per day for all of these Burr months, and then decide on how I wanted to tackle 2025. And so a couple of thoughts for 2025 I've been tossing around is daily journaling sometimes can be hard because some days there's just not a lot going on. But it's still fun to document, and it gives me that little bit of creative outlet, kind of a mindfulness activity, just to ease the mind, take away some stress. Whatever it is that crafting does for you, that's what this journaling does for me. So this is December of 2024, and it's really chunky. I did 2 pages per day for December. I just realized I didn't cover up some of my pictures, and I had fun making a lot of backgrounds. And so the only thing really left to do here, of course, it's after Christmas. I have to print our Christmas pictures and other pictures. I really like this as part of a background. So I'll probably continue to work on kind of just gluing in some creative elements. There we go. What in the world? Let me see. Some creative elements in this book. Where did I just see? Yeah. Actually, this is from a greeting card I got last year, and I just really loved it. These birds, and this is my process. These birds remind me of my grandmother. If you've listened to this series, that theme has come up a lot. So I really wanted to get this in my December journal. And maybe this is the day after Christmas. Not a whole lot going on that day, especially with still lingering COVID issues. My husband is better. None of us ever got sick, which was a good thing. But he's still coughing. My son-in-law didn't feel well, so we just didn't do much. So the rest of December needs to be done. I've already glued in some things. Of course, we're not to the new year yet, 2025. So some of my thoughts, and then I am going to work in this December journal, but some of my thoughts for 2025 are continuing to do a daily journal. That seems to be the best mindfulness activity for me. Morning coffee. Morning time is the best time for me to journal. I, for whatever reason, tend to get up very early, way before anyone else. So it gives me a little bit of quiet time before anyone gets up, before the day gets rolling. Weekdays are just not conducive to coming in here and doing any type of journaling because it's the hustle and bustle of everyday life, getting ready for work and school, packing lunches. You know the drill. So some things I've learned from the Burr months. are I don't need 2 pages per day, even in months that tend to be busy, like December. The other thing is I have a ton of scrapbooking paper that needs to be utilized, but what I don't like are the white, the single-sided pages that leave me with a white blank page. So those, I think, will become my creative outlet in the 2025 my journaling process. I had made this cover, and this is taking me back to my roots with junk journaling. I have made so many junk journals, and enjoy that process as well, just kind of seeing where one single page will take you. So for 2025, I think that's where I'm going to be headed. So this is an option. It is a 1.5-inch spine, which is not going to be enough for 12 months. So I thought, okay, I can do a quarterly journal. I enjoyed in the Burr Month series, I enjoyed making a kind of themed journal every month. I just don't know if I can keep that up. So I think for 2025, it's going to be a quarterly journal. Then the other thing I learned from this Burr Month series is that these journals get chunky. And remember, originally I was going to bind the Burr Months all together. Well, I did bind, I don't have them on my desk or I'd grab them, September, October, and November together. But this one is going to have to be a standalone because they're just not going to fit. And it's because I have 2 pages in here. I think October I did 2 pages per day, and November. So they get chunky. Plus this is a 1-inch spine with 2 signatures. And my intention was to bind these together, so the outside of this is literally just a reinforced piece of scrapbook paper. So I think I'm going back to my roots for 2025. And I hope to bring you along. If you're interested, I will, well, this is the last recording for 2024, the Burr Months. So the next recording will be this 2025 journal series. Here's my other idea. Never done this before. I've made a lot of junk journals, single junk journals. So something I've wanted to try, and I've been kind of collecting these books. This is actually a gutted book that I just took the covers. By gutted, I mean I've taken the papers out. I'll use these. You've seen me use these for glue pages, even some decorative pages in some of the books. I think there's a journal page, book page in here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. I've actually just covered it all up. But the background is a book page with some watercolor. This is my idea. If I can figure out how to put this together, it will be kind of a lap book, which lap books tend to be bigger. These are old Reader's Digests, and they're roughly the same size. So they are, just measuring over here, 5.5 by a little bit past 8.5. So that would mean if I use this, every single page that I put in here, I will have to cut down because an 8.5 by 11 folded in half is not going to fit. So I'll have to do a little bit of math, but I really want to try this. So I think this is the way it's going to go. So the idea, there's 3 books that I gutted and kept the covers. So the first book would end up being front and back. And then it would open up like, will there be a binding somehow here? I think this is backwards. There'll be, I'll open it up to somehow the middle. This is what I have to figure out. The middle would be this, I believe. So there'll be a binding here. This will be the middle. It would open up this way. And then it would open up again and have another binding over here. So it will just open up and open up to give me the space I need for, if it's quarterly, I'll need 4 sections in the end. So I'm gonna play with this and see if I can figure out how to bind this together. And that will become, hopefully, my 2025 journal intact. And I'll have the whole month, 1 page per day, all in one. So I'm gonna play around with that. But this is to finish up the Burr months for 2024. Coffee is good. And I have to say, since Christmas, I've not really kept track of much happenings. I've not printed pictures yet. That's the theme, obviously. But I'm going to try to find out. There are some, I shouldn't say that. There's some stashed in here. Gonna see what I can do for backgrounds. Ooh, I know what. I did finish this. Remember last time I said this was fabric. One of my prompts was fabric. And this personal note. And so I had a piece of fabric in here that I said I wanted to sew. So I have some zigzag sewn onto this fabric all the way around. And then this little tab, it flips up. And then because I want to do some private journaling, I made a little hidden journaling card with a little tab. So it just kind of fits right behind the fabric, right there. So, of course, none of the journaling's done. But, okay. So, we find where, whoops, I never put the, I think this might be where I'm at. And this is December 18th. I do have a funny story about a squirrel. Let's see what else is going on the 18th. This is actually the last shopping day before Christmas, so I did do some shopping. Is that a Tuesday? No, it's a Wednesday. I think my notes are wrong. Is this truly Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, Friday. All right, so this is where I'm going to start. I'm just going to, I don't have all the pictures, and I don't have the pictures that I did print covered up like in the earlier on. I finally figured out just stick a little post-it over my granddaughter in the pictures. Remember, I said I don't want to show her any in this type of social media platform. So some of the pictures I haven't glued down yet are not covered up. So I'm going to start here and take you along and see if I can at least get all of the backgrounds done. Oh, the other thing, last week, remember I said the not having the dates glued down was kind of driving me a little crazy. So I did go ahead and glue down all of the dates for the rest of the book. So hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me, depending on what pictures and things are gonna go into each day. So here we go. hard to do this without pictures because I don't want to cover up a lot of the little backgrounds like this background. There's not much going on for us the day after Christmas. So I'm just gonna put this whole bird background page down. And if I have to cover up little corners here and there with pictures, it'll be just fine. I'm just gonna put it right in the center. Yep. Oops. Okay. And we went to the movies yesterday, but I have to print. I ordered the tickets online so that we could get seats. So I don't have ticket stubs or anything, but I do have a picture of the movie. It was my daughter's favorite movie growing up, Mufasa. Well, The Lion King, and Mufasa is the pre-story, and she watched The Lion King every day when she was little. That was her nap time activity. If anybody's had kids, they know the woes of getting kids when they get older to take their naps. So that's how I did it. She watched The Lion King every day, and it gave her that hour just to relax so she wasn't grumpy the rest of the day and she didn't fall asleep at the dinner table. So she cried. I think she cried 3 or 4 times watching that movie. So, happy tears, I hope. I guess I'm just gonna make this into a pocket. And the next thing to do in this book is print the pictures, do the journaling, and put it with the rest of the Burr months. Oh, there's a nice little pocket. Maybe some, this is the 30th, but you know, I'm starting to think of how I want next year to go, so maybe I'll need a little more space to do some journaling for these days. And then thought I'd make this into a pocket for this is New Year's Day. So, and that will bring us to the end of December. So, next time we will be working in a 2025 journal. I hope that you'll continue to follow along. Put me, fast forward through some of the steps if you don't want to. That's fine. If you get ideas on how to do your own journal, if this is something that will help you, if this is your mindfulness activity like it is mine, come along. And I will see you in 2025.